welcome to a very special video here for TXN Sports World. This is Michael Flecha alongside the guys, and yeah, this is it, guys. The big day has come. 4 years in the making, and the United States punches their ticket into the FIFA World Cup. They are going to Qatar. They're going to be representing one of three teams in North America. Mexico and Canada both punched their tickets to the World Cup as well. Canada won their game on Sunday. That solidified their spot. Mexico with a victory tonight. They punched their ticket to the FIFA World Cup, and the United States, even though they were 2-0 losers against Costa Rica, the goal differential between USA and Costa Rica was good enough for the USA to secure the third and final automatic qualifier spot, and they now go to the FIFA World Cup, where Costa Rica, the Ticos, are now going to have to play New Zealand in a play-in tournament. That will happen this June in Qatar, and that will determine if they get to go to the FIFA World Cup. At the end of the day, it's not the result that you wanted it to see for the Americans, and it is a little bit of a disappointment to lose the final game. However, the mission that was very simple 4 years ago was one of the most embarrassing and most disheartening moments for U.S. soccer fans. And a lot of people came down on Samir Galati. A lot of people came down on Bruce Arena. A lot of people came down on many of the players for the United States for the embarrassing performances that they laid out 4 years ago, that was culminated by a disastrous result, a 2-1 loss to Trinidad and Tobago on the road, and that literally knocked the U.S. out of the FIFA World Cup. There was a lot of finger pointing, there was a lot of anger, and there was a lot of hostility towards the U.S. Soccer Federation after a complete overhaul of personnel, of managers, of everything. They settled on Craig Berhalter to be the new guy to try to resurrect the United States as a country, as a team, to get them back to the World Cup. It all started when them winning the Nations League, which was first time ever, the CONCACAF Nations League, and then parlaying that later on in the year by capturing the Copa de Oro, the Gold Cup, which is a big tournament. That's the North American Championship. That's like with the Euros. That's like with Copa America, which is the big tournament for the South Americans. And they won that trophy. So you had the momentum going into this octagon style format, 8 teams, 14 games, and you had to earn your way through. At the beginning, it wasn't great. It was a little sluggish. U.S. was definitely on the outside looking in, but then they got some big wins, and they started to snowball and really got this thing rolling. There was an opening where the U.S. could have won the group. There was obviously some big moments. The biggest game that really helped the USA was the big 0-0 draw at Estadio Azteca against Mexico. They could have won that game. If they would have won that game, then all they had to do was just beat Panama, and that would have been it. They would have clinched their spot. But they did get the draw in a crucial moment, and they got that point that helped them parlay that into what they did. A total wipeout of Panama, knocking Panama out of the FIFA World Cup, and they were on the outside looking in. That helped the Ticos of Costa Rica. That got them into the fourth spot, and then basically it's just a numbers crunch. You're just protecting yourself on a numbers crunch. Do not lose 6-0. They lost 2-0. No harm, no foul. That was enough for the U.S. to get through. They are obviously celebrating tonight, where for us as commentators, as broadcasters, I know for myself and for a lot of the soccer fans out there, this is probably a little bit of a bittersweet moment. Obviously, you don't want to lose the final game. However, you do get to the World Cup, and ultimately that is the ultimate goal: getting to the World Cup, being on that world stage, and now you're gonna get to play against the greatest players in the world, and that's ultimately what you wanted it to see. Now, when it comes to the breakdown of the pots, this is very important, because now they're going by the FIFA rankings. Pot 1 is the home country, Qatar, but more importantly, the 7 best countries in the world right now: Belgium, Brazil, France, who are the reigning champions, Argentina, England, Spain, and by virtue of their win yesterday, Portugal got the final spot, the seeded spot, so they will be leading a group into the draw on Friday. Pot 2, these are now, you're talking some of the powerhouses when you talk about in Europe. You got the Netherlands, you got Denmark, Germany, multi-time World Cup champions, Switzerland, Croatia. You got South American Uruguay. You got Mexico and the USA. Now, that means the US could come out very early. We hope to see them in Group A with Qatar, because we've played Qatar in the Gold Cup in the semifinal, and the US got through, and that led them to win the Gold Cup that year. So if you're the USA, you will love to see them come out and be slotted in that first pot with Qatar. Now, if they don't, couple of teams you might want to keep an eye on. England, because of the fact that the last time England and the US were paired together, which was, I believe, in South Africa, the US won their group. And on top of that, there was a 0-0, there was a 1-1 draw between USA and England. So that would be one that I would like to see. The other possible group that you would, or opponent that you would like to see, is Portugal. Now I know, wait a minute, Mike, that's Cristiano Ronaldo. Are you sure you want to see the Americans play them? Yes. And here's the reason why. The last two World Cup matches that the US and Portugal has faced off, USA is one win and one draw. It could have been 2 wins, but Cristiano Ronaldo made a phenomenal pass right at the dying moments of that game and saved Portugal from, without a doubt, a surefire, embarrassing defeat to the Americans. I don't think the US is scared of Portugal. Now, you know, changes year in and year out. There's a lot of great younger talent there in Portugal, so you never know what you would expect. So could that be a possible upset in the making? Could we see that happen? We'll have to wait and find out. Hopefully that's the best way to go. Belgium is possibly a great team, no doubt about it, one of the best in the world. Brazil, forget it. If US draws Brazil, that's going to be a long night for the United States, because Brazil's got so many weapons they can kill you with. France is the defending champions. Argentina is dangerous. You of course, with Lionel Messi. And Spain is kind of one of those lying in the weeds. You don't really know much about him because we haven't seen much from Spain, but they're still dangerous. They're still a lethal combination. Pot 3. This is one of those where you got Iran, Japan, Serbia, South Korea, Tanzania, Poland, Morocco, Senegal. Now, in this group, this could go a number of ways. Now, Iran and U.S. faced each other, I think in 1998. Iran knocked out the Americans. It was an embarrassing moment. Japan has always been a thorn in the side of a lot of teams. They've caused a lot of trouble for certain teams in the FIFA World Cup. They always do really good. Serbia, it's a hit or miss. You don't know about them really well. South Korea, we all remember South Korea. We all remember what they did 4 years ago. They knocked out Germany. They knocked them out. They put them out of the FIFA World Cup. And as a matter of fact, it was Mexico that benefited from that knockout 4 years ago. So you know the South Koreans could cause some trouble. Tanzania, not really much about them as well. You never know what to get from them. Poland is a European power. You can see how that could play out. Morocco and Senegal, two African squads, and they actually are probably considered the strongest teams in pot 3. So we'll see how that plays out. And then of course pot 4. This is where Saudi Arabia is, Ecuador, Ghana, Canada, Cameroon, and then you got some other matches. Peru has to wait because there's a match between Australia and United Arab Emirates. Whoever wins that, they face off against Peru, and then that's in June, and that will decide who goes to the FIFA World Cup. Then you get New Zealand versus Costa Rica, another head-to-head matchup. We'll see from there, and then of course on the Euro side, Wales is waiting on the winner of Scotland versus Ukraine. Once those two go at it, the winner, they face off against the Wales. Winner of that matchup goes to the FIFA World Cup. So there's still some spots that still need to be determined. We don't know. We just got to keep a very, very, very close eye on the remaining play-in matches before we can formulate an actual decision on how this is going to go. So at the end of the day, it's all going to be a heck of a battle. But lo and behold, the United States are going to be in the FIFA World Cup. That's the most important battle, and we'll get to find out where they're going to be on Friday around noon. We're going to find out where they're going to be slotted, positioned, and we'll wait and see. So we'll have once we get those results in, I'll make a quick little video about my thoughts on the group and how everything goes. So until then, everybody, have a wonderful evening and good night.